Hello my dear health seekers, Inga from Health Origins here, and welcome to this important episode. Since we are in some kind of crisis with the coronavirus, I thought I need to address how we can prepare and weather the storm, right? So this episode is all about self-isolation pantry essentials. So let's begin. So as you can see, I've got a bit of a collection of some dry items and some other basic vegetable items here. And also there are some frozen stuff that I haven't managed to include in this shot. So let's talk about dry pantry ingredients. This video, these tips are not about panic buying and cleaning out the shelves and not leaving food for other people to buy. We don't need to go crazy. The whole thing actually, we didn't purpose buy anything pretty much, right? This is just normally how we buy, because we buy our dry goods in kind of more bulk bags, like 2.5 kilo bags, some bits even 5 kilo bags. So we always have some stock of dry goods like beans, lentils, chickpeas available. So this is just our normal pantry, and I'm going to talk you through what I think is a good idea to get and to have prepared, to be prepared. There's a lot of preppers in America because they have a lot of hurricanes, a lot of power cuts and different things. Here in the UK, we're quite lucky. We don't get a lot of natural disasters that cut our electricity off or anything, so we're not so used to preparing and prepping for these occasions. So I thought it would be quite useful to just go through a few basics and see how you can prepare a vegan pantry, a healthy vegan pantry, if you need to self-isolate, or if you can't get to the shops for a few weeks, or if you can't get anything in the shops for a few weeks. So it's good to have these a few essentials ready to weather the storm, as I mentioned. So let's start from the dry goods. Here you've got, I've got a few of dry goods. I mean, they don't have to necessarily match mine. If you prefer different legumes, different kind of grains, then just obviously replace them with those. So I've got chickpeas here. So at the end, chickpeas is such a versatile ingredient. I like to have dried chickpeas because it's cheaper. You can get quite a bit, if you buy a bulk bag. And by the way, I'll link to the website we buy our organic dried goods from. It's a site called buywholefoodsonline.com. So I'll link to their website down below, where you can find a lot of these amazing essentials. You can buy organic. It's inexpensive. You can buy from 1 kilo to 5 kilos and even more. I know they limit really big bulk buys right now because they want to make sure that everybody gets enough of everything. But I think they still probably, sell 1 kilo and 2.5 kilo items. So dried chickpeas, or if you prefer, you can buy some canned chickpeas, cooked chickpeas. This is obviously a quicker version. It's ready there. You just need to drain it, and you can use aquafaba instead of your egg replacer if you're baking a cake or baking something. So that's kind of 2-in-1, right? And when you cook your own chickpeas, you can keep the liquid and use as an egg replacer. The good news is that I saw a few posts online making rounds that chickpeas and pulses are left behind because all the omnivores, the rest of UK population, are buying just baked beans and chopped tomatoes, but all the pulses, you know, so like chickpeas and some beans are left behind, which is great news for us. We can stock up, and they're normally quite inexpensive as well. So I've got here some chickpeas and water. I've got some mixed beans, which is great for your chilies. I've got some chopped tomatoes, obviously an essential. And I've also got a coconut milk, so you know, get a few tins of coconut milk and a few tins of chopped tomatoes, I would advise, because they're so great, versatile to make sauces, so you know, tomato based sauces, and also for curries, so you can make either coconut based curries or you can make tomato based curries, right? So yeah, so the next dry good, I've got some lentils. So these are red lentils, and I also have some brown organic lentils as well. You can get some green lentils. So lentils, you know, they're high in protein, great. They cook quickly, especially the red cooks so quickly, and also it thickens soups. It's more of a thickener. And obviously green and brown lentils are more, you know, they retain their shape. So it's two different kinds depending what you like. Then I've got some yellow split peas again, a great filling legume, if you like. I've got some oats, rolled oats. My husband likes porridge in the morning, so he's, you know, going through a bit of that. Or you could use it for baking as well, or you could make flapjacks with it too. Then let's see what else. So from dried goods, we've got some. I've got some other black beans there somewhere as well, but this is kidney beans. So have a couple of types of different beans, and this is haricot beans as well, the ones that you get for in the baked beans, right? Haricot beans, so you can make your own baked beans. If there's no baked beans, don't panic, because you can easily make your own with a bit of tomato sauce, some ketchup, maybe some soy sauce, and pretty much you can make your own yummy baked beans. So I've got that. Then another essential is rice. So unfortunately I haven't got much brown rice left. So this is brown basmati rice, and I normally have short grain rice as well. I've got a little bit left for risotto. We love our risottos, so I need to stock up a bit more on rices, because rice is so versatile. It's great for curries. It goes in casseroles, different dishes. It's just great. So, and I also make my burger patties with rice, with a cup of rice. So yeah, rice is a great thing to have. Then another great discovery I found on the buywholefoodsonline.com website is your dried mixed vegetables. So these are dried vegetables. Let's see what they have. It's actually not saying on this one here, but it's basically your leeks, your onions, your carrot, your peas even. So this is basically your backup of when you're gonna run out of fresh ingredients, like your carrots, your potatoes, your frozen peas, for example, right? And this is great to rehydrate and have it in stews or soups as well. So this is great to make, you know, some soups and broths and stews. So this is 1 kilo of dried mixed vegetables, so that could last quite a while. And then from other, well, actually I forgot to mention another legume. This is soybean. So soybean we use mainly to make soy milk. I have a Soyabella soy milk making machine, and it's just so easy to make our own soy milk. Basically, you take a cup that size, it's about 100 grams, and you soak it for 12 hours, put it in the machine, it does its thing for 15 minutes and you've got fresh soy milk ready. So even if there's no oat milk or any other plant milks in the shops, we can always make our own soy milk very cheaply and quickly, right? So I've got quite a bit of soybeans as well. And you could always make milk from nuts, almond milk or cashew milk, or even sunflower seed milk, but nuts can be at a premium. They're expensive, you might not find it, you might not have a stock of them. So soybeans are great because you can use it as a bean in recipes, but also you can make soy milk with it, so it's very versatile. And then we were lucky enough, we've got a couple of bags of the pastas. This is brown pasta. You might be lucky because we're eating healthier whole grain pasta. There might be still some around because people tend to go for white pastas, right? So I still got, we always go for whole grain anyway. So this is whole wheat spaghetti, and this is whole wheat fusilli pasta. There's lentil and beetroot pasta. So these not very usual pastas for other people. They kind of maybe stay behind. They don't get bought out. So this is a great opportunity for us to have a healthier pasta and stock up. So don't go crazy. Leave some stock for others. But a couple of bags of different kinds of pasta should keep you going for a little bit. And obviously with all the other pulses and grains, you would be good to go for quite a few weeks. So I think this kind of supply could last us maybe 6 weeks for me and Mark, even more actually. You could make so many different meals from them. Then I've got some noodles, so whole wheat noodles again. And then, don't panic if you think, shops are running out of breads, because, go to local bakers. Normally they have a, full shop of different bakes. A lot of people panic if in big supermarkets they don't find any bread, but in local shops there's plenty of bread, and the same in greengrocers as well. Like, so in my city there's a market, and there's plenty of fruits and vegetables on all the stalls in the market, and smaller grocery shops as well. Greengrocers, they have fully stocked of fruits and vegetables. So don't panic if you don't see much fruit and veg in the largest supermarkets. Actually go and support local shops, support your local bakers, local greengrocers, and give your support to them, because they will struggle more in this kind of difficult times than the big supermarkets will. So then I did we've got a couple of pittas, because pittas are great. They are whole grain, so we go for whole grain pittas. If you can get some, you can get a couple of packs and freeze, because they freeze quite well. So you could freeze some pittas as well. But if you can't get any anywhere, then you could always get some whole grain flour, because people tend to go for white flours again. So some whole grain flours will probably be left on the shelves. So you can make your own flour, and actually I've got a really easy, no knead whole grain flour bread, a yeasted one. So if you can get yeast, that's great. I'll link to the recipe below and in the card above how you can make this yeasted, no knead whole grain bread. So easy. But if you don't have yeast, don't panic. I'll link to in the video how you can make your own sourdough starter from any flour, whether it's rye flour, whether it's whole wheat flour, and then you can make your own sourdough bread. So you can always make your own bread. It's so incredible that people who never baked in their lives, right? Because they're in a panic mode, they bought all the yeast and all the flour so that, in case the worst happens, they can bake. And actual people who always bake are, complaining, are worried because they don't have any yeast left anymore. It's quite curious how panic changes people's habits. So let's look at a couple of fresh ingredients. So I've got potatoes here. Obviously, you probably want more than this. You probably want a couple of bags, because potatoes keep quite well if you keep it in a dark place and relatively cool place. They can keep for quite a few weeks. Then I've got carrots. Carrots is such a versatile vegetable. You can have it for so many dishes, right? You can even make cheese sauce with it. You can have salads, you can have it in stews, you can have it in stir fries. I mean, it's a wonderful vegetables, and they keep quite well in the fridge as well. So potatoes don't keep in the fridge. Keep it, somewhere in the cupboard, dark. And then carrots, keep it in your salad drawer in the fridge. Maybe even put like a paper towel on them, and keep it in like a Ziploc bag, or maybe the bag that came in, to keep them nice and fresh, okay? Then you need onions. Onions is great, versatile vegetable as well, and some garlic. So if you don't have fresh garlic, or you run out of onions, then you can always use powders. I mean, onions, I would say stock up on quite a few onions, because it's a base for curry. So it's hard to replace an onion in a curry, because curry, that is the base. It's basically onions fried for quite a while in either then tomato base or coconut base. So have a few bags of onions, and they keep really well in the cupboard. And then garlic, like I say, you can either have fresh, or if you don't have fresh, you can always have some garlic powder, and also you can get some onion powder. So actually, the three, talking about spices, you don't need to go crazy and have all sorts of spices. Obviously have salt, have pepper if you like pepper. We hardly ever use pepper, right? But if you like pepper, have salt, pepper, then onion powder, garlic powder, and I would say maybe smoked paprika. We use smoked paprika quite a bit, and also cumin. Cumin is a great spice to have, and pretty much I think they will cover most of your bases what spices are concerned.
And I nearly forgot the most essential vegan ingredient is nutritional yeast flakes. Stock up on that so you can get a yummy, cheesy goodness in your dishes.
We're talking basic pantry here. We're not talking like lavish, extravagant dinners. We were just talking something basic. I like sweet chili sauce, so you can stock up on some sauces like sweet chili, or we love onion relish as well. So you could, buy a couple of those just to have. And then also stock. So this is Marigold vegan bouillon stock. So it's great to have that for, again, all sorts of stews and soups. So it's easy enough to buy 2-3 of these just to have on hand to flavor everything. And then if you get really fancy, for popcorn nights, when you're at home stuck, you want to watch some movies perhaps with the kids especially, then you can buy yourself some popping corn, and you could dry pop some corn and either sprinkle some salt or maybe some castor sugar on it, and have either sweet or salty popcorn as a great cheap and easy snack idea. And then I've got some sugar, so I've got some brown sugar. So if you're planning to bake, if you ever bake, if you're good at baking, or if you want to learn, maybe if you want to take the time to learn some baking while this self-isolation happen, while this kind of crisis is on and you can't go to work, for example, then perhaps give give a go to baking. And if you have some bananas, then you can, and some whole grain flour, and some sugar, so it's fairly easy enough to make a very simple banana bread. And you'll need some kind of plant milk, so you can obviously make some soy milk. By the way, even if you don't have a soy milk maker like I do, you can still make milk from soybeans, and I have made it before, which you just need some kind of cloth bag, like a nut milk bag, to strain the beans once you kind of cooked it. So I'll link to that recipe below. If you're stuck and you're struggling but you have some soybeans, you can make your own milk as well. And then now with fruit, bananas are a great fruit to have. If you buy green bananas, they can last for a couple of weeks, even longer. Because sometimes we struggle because we like our bananas really ripe, like we like them really spotty like this for our smoothies, because every morning we have a smoothie. So sometimes we struggle to get them really ripe. But to get them green, it's normally much easier. So if you get them green, they will last a very, very long time, maybe 2-3 weeks even sometimes. And once they're getting like quite ripe like this, got a lot of spots, and if you don't manage to use it, you could bake it into a banana bread, or you could freeze it. So cut them up into pieces and freeze it, and then you can use it for recipes like smoothies or banana bread later on. So it's great to freeze some bananas as well. So that is kind of it, and also get yourself some frozen vegetable bags as well, because this is quite a nice, quick and easy thing to pull out of the pantry. You could always go, fancier and get some, sausage substitutes if you into that kind of thing, some frozen vegan foods. But we're kind of more into whole foods, into more basic meals. I'm just covering just the very basics. So just a couple of ideas at the end, I guess I would like to leave you with, is of the meals you can prepare from all of this. You could, look up on YouTube or on the internet. I'm sure you'll find lots of delicious dishes, and on my channel you'll see a few options, but a few things to mention. So different kind of bean stews. You can have bean chili, so you can use the some of the lentils and some beans to make a bean chili. Then you can have some chickpea stews. I've got a yummy peanut butter and chickpea stew. Perhaps peanut butter could be another thing that you might want to stock up on. Normally, a little kind of bucket like that is not very expensive and it lasts quite a long time. So peanut butter could be something to have on hand as well if you like, if you use a lot of peanut butter. So obviously, like I said, lentils, all kind of lentil dishes. Then carrots and potatoes, all sorts of stews, mashed potatoes, roast potatoes, salads from the carrots. Then obviously onions, put it into different dishes. You can have pasta dishes with your tomato sauces. You could have your curries, rice and curry. Obviously vegetables would be your carrots, your onion, your tomato, or a coconut-based curry. A lot of pasta dishes, stir fries with carrots again and onion, just basics. And then again, if you have these dried vegetables, you could have soups and stews as well. So just a lot of basic, comforting, simple foods will see you over these 2, 3 or 4 weeks, however long you need to self-isolate until this whole panic and self-isolation will blow over. So yeah, I hope this is useful. I hope it's been useful to you guys. Let me know what other basic ingredients do you keep on hand. Let me know in the comments. Would be interesting to know what else is your staples that you couldn't live without. For us, actually, because we have smoothies every day, I think the things we also have to add to this list is some frozen berries, probably kale, so freeze some kale or spinach, because in a smoothie it doesn't matter if it's fresh or not fresh. So I think, you know, freezing some kale and freezing some spinach, as well as having quite a few bags of frozen berries, is essential for us. And also we use some seeds, so sunflower seeds, flax seeds, and pumpkin seeds. So we'll make sure we've got a stock of that ready for the smoothies. So obviously whatever you use every day, think about those foods and make sure you have a supply of those to last you, you know, a couple of weeks at least, let's say. So yeah, so if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you're new here, welcome to the channel and subscribe for more videos like this, but mainly recipes. So I normally make yummy recipes on Wednesday and then meal prep for weight loss on Saturdays. So join me on my channel, join this family where I help you guys transform your body and eating habits and keep the weight off for life. And remember, as always, food is fuel, so be mindful of what you put in your body. Until next time.